So much for coming to my session. I really, really appreciate it. Just a real quick reminder, please be sure to mute yourself. There's a lot going on in this presentation. There's a lot that I cover, so if it goes a bit too quick and you have a question, we have a small enough group that feel free to unmute yourself and holler, or if you'd like, throw the question in the chat. But the good news is that everything that I'm going to cover for you today will be provided to you in the form of a resource guide. So it's kind of like a step-by-step manual of everything that I'm doing right now that I'm about to show you, you'll have access to. So you don't have to furiously scribble notes and try to keep up that way. So without further ado, I think we'll go ahead and get started. A couple things just to draw your attention. The really cool app that we've been using. If you go ahead and look at the questions and responses to the session poll, looks like a majority of the obstacles and barriers. It's a kind of a toss-up between cost, right, as well as access for students. People are concerned that students not having access to the technology that they're using, lack of funding and interest from the, yeah. So the good news is that even though technology costs money, the cool thing about what I'm about to show you is that it really doesn't cost any extra money. It just really takes a little bit of time on your part. But the good news is that the things I'm about to show you, I'll give you templates at the end of the presentation so that you don't have to reinvent the wheel. So if you like the look and feel, if you like the look and style of what I've done, I'll be happy to give you templates that you're able to edit and then adjust according to your needs so you don't have to reinvent the wheel and start completely over from scratch. So nonetheless, today we're going to talk about three things. We're going to talk about virtual slides. Some people call it Google Classroom. And we're going to talk about Bitmoji, and then we're going to talk really, really briefly about TikTok. So we have quite a bit to cover in a short amount of time. So we'll go ahead and get started. So what you're seeing right now, what you're seeing here is what a virtual classroom can look like. The world is your oyster. Whatever you'd like to do with it is completely up to you. But when we went fully asynchronous at the start of the pandemic, for me, I was desperately looking for ways to engage my students. I was desperately looking for ways to inject my personality, because one of the biggest aspects that I missed of face-to-face teaching was the performance of it, for lack of a better word. The world is a stage, and I have a huge personality, and to me, I felt like some of that was lost. So this was a really nice way for me to help inject some of that back into the course so it's not quite so monotonous and dry. So just a teeny little bit about me. I teach at North Central State College. I'm the president of the National Organization for Student Success Ohio chapter. I present at Heartland CRLA, presenting here at Bucks County Community College. I was recently awarded the AQ certification for effective online teaching, which is a 9-month program, very, very enlightening and informative. I got my bachelor's at Ohio State. I received my master's at the University of Cincinnati College Conservatory of Music, where I'm currently completing my DMA. I play harp, so all of my degrees are in music. I play with a number of different orchestras, so I have a fairly creative lens and bend already to how I approach things. But the good news is that if you don't happen to be as creative, or being creative is difficult for you, like I said, you'll have templates that you're more than welcome to use. I'm fairly positive that the things that I'm doing in my courses are resonating with the students. I'm a 5-time award winner for the Campus Thumbs Up use of Canvas, which is our LMS, as well as a Golden Mic Award. So proof is in the pudding. Everyone always asks, so I'm always sure to include the cats. All the kids make it into the presentation. So that's Mittens, Genshin, and Bruiser. I started a thread in the discussion board about showing me your pets. Feel free to drop your pics in the discussion board and share them. So just to clear up a couple things to make sure we're all perfectly clear about some of the terminology that we're going to be using. Right?
James.
Sorry, James.
Sorry to interrupt, but we're not seeing the presentation. We're just seeing blue jeans or something. So like you pointed to your cats, and I can't see the cats.
Yeah, nothing's showing.
Let me try this. Let me do... What about now?
There we
yes,
go.
You got it.
Perfect. All right. Pardon me. All right. Zoom. Oop, that is not what I want. Let me make sure that you can. Here we go. All right, so those of you that missed, there's the cats. All right, Mittens, Chin Chin, and Bruiser, and then there's the pictures that I was using to describe a little bit about my background. Pardon me, thank you for bringing that to my attention. So terminology, just to make sure we're clear, an emoji, everyone should know what an emoji is, right? It's just simply the things that you include in your text message. It's things that you include in emails, just little ideograms and pictograms, if you will, that you can include to help show you can help show emotion, right? Bitmoji, on the other hand, is the little cartoon character that's right there. So the nice thing about that is that you can include your Bitmoji in any number of things. You can include him in text messages. You can include your Bitmoji into your classroom, into your LMS, into emails, wherever you want to do. But it's a personalized little cartoonish version, really, of yourself that you can add. You can address them however you want. So super, super cool, very easy to build. Now, there's a couple of different terminology when people are talking about Google Classroom and Virtual Classroom. Like I said, some people will call virtual classrooms Google Classroom, and it's a little bit of a misnomer because unless your school has fully integrated LTI integration with Google, you won't be using the full suite of Google Classrooms. So in order to make the virtual classroom, you use the program that's called the Slides. So just be mindful of that if your school does not have full LTI integration, it'll be supplemental in nature, but supplemental is just fine. When you're using the virtual slides, you can either upload it as a PNG or you can embed it for a fully interactive slide with clickable links and things of that nature into your LMS. So, all right, let's get started. Most folks are familiar enough with PowerPoint, so that's a really nice starting place to begin your journey with creating virtual slides. The slides that you see here in front of you are the slides that I created with PowerPoint. To me, it's a teeny bit easier, and I'm a bit more comfortable in PowerPoint. I don't use Google often enough to always remember exactly what I'm to click and where things are. So for me, building it in PowerPoint's much faster. So if you are comfortable with PowerPoint, you can use it to make you can make a static site. Make sure you're muted, please. You can make a static site that's right here, and there's nothing that's clickable that's on it. It's just an actual visual and like a pictogram, if you will. If you want something that's fully interactive with clickable links, if you want to embed video, that's when you're going to want to include Google Slides and use that as an embedding tool into your actual course. And I'll show you how to do that in a moment. All right, so you can find Bitmoji any number of places. You can find it on the mobile apps, whether it's Apple or Android. You can simply search by Bitmoji. You can go to the desktop version for Bitmoji, and that's totally fine, and find it there and build your avatar that way. Or you can use Snapchat. Some people like to use Snapchat. I'm not going to go over how to do it with Snapchat, but if you do have Snapchat already, you already have Bitmoji created, so you're already well ahead of the game. So before we talk about that, let's talk a little bit about what the actual Bitmoji will end up looking like. Let me get rid of this, pardon me. And let me stop sharing, and just to make sure that I still have the appropriate screen because now I'm paranoid. So when you go and build your Bitmoji on your desktop, this is what it will ultimately look like. You can go and dress them any way you'd like. You can go to change their outfit. There I am. You can control hair color, hairstyle, facial hair, eye shape, eyebrows, nose, head shape, lip shape, any number of things, and then you can dress them over here. So the really cool part is that you can pretty much customize your Bitmoji to look like anything that you would like. And then once you're done, you simply save it, and then you're ready to go and you're ready to rock and roll. Making Bitmoji on the desktop probably is the easiest because it will give you just a much wider screen and a much wider lens to view everything. So I mentioned briefly that I started incorporating TikTok. TikTok is relatively new For me, let me pull this up again, pardon me. TikTok is relatively new to me, and I was using it in a way that I desperately wanted to find something that was easy to use, that students would be familiar with. And for me, TikTok was a really nice way because it has time limits on it, and I could use my phone. I could simply pull up my phone, record a very quick video, and then share it with the class. So for me, it was the spontaneity and the instantaneousness of it that I really enjoyed. That was the big win for me. So when you're talking and using TikTok, some brief screenshots, you'll download. This will require, you can use it on a desktop, but it is best to use it on a mobile device. But that's what the app will look like right there. And then when you go to create something, there's a little plus that's right there. You'll hit it. And then there's different recording times. You'll have 15-second, 60-second, 3 minutes. Some regions have 10-minute recordings. I have yet to find it for mine, so they must be rolling it out in phases. So unfortunately, in Midwest America, we don't seem to have it yet. So some TikTokers have 10-minute videos, but the cap for now, for me at least, is 3 minutes. They have effects that can alter the appearance or view, which is very similar to changing your appearance or putting like an overlay on yourself. And then there's filters just like Instagram. So if you're familiar with Instagram, it's like a veneer that they put over the video to change the vibe and look and feel of it. You can add sound, you can add stickers, you can add video, you can control where those things show up on the video, but it's all done within the phone. So the nice thing about that is that you, aside from learning how to navigate the app, there's no real video editing software that's required or any kind of special knowledge about video editing, which can be a bit cumbersome and tedious. When you go to create the video, you'll hit the plus sign, and then right here is where you'll have the options for the time limits. Like I said, whether it's 15-second, 60-second, or 3 minutes is where you'll find it. You'll have the actual the effects that's right there to add stickers and such, and then filters is over here. When you hit the effects button, that's the screen that will pop up that will allow you to pick whatever kind of appearance changing stickers you'd like. And then the filters, like I said, very similar to Instagram, if you will, that you can post. So for me, like I said, it was the instantaneity, the spontaneity of it that I really enjoyed, but also that it prevented me from running my mouth. It was only 3 minutes. So you need to get to the meat of whatever issue that you're using the video for. Now, the cool thing about TikTok is that you can set controls and you can set privacy settings so that if you happen to, if you want to create a video but not share it, you can make it private. And then from there, you can embed it within your course so that general public on TikTok will not find it. Or you can set it so that only people that follow you can view the video, or you can set it so that anyone can find it. So the way that I would use the TikTok videos, I would create them, I would make them private, and then I would upload them to YouTube and then embed them into the course. Doing it that way, it allowed me to track some of the analytics of the videos to see and make sure the kiddos were watching them, to make sure they were actually paying attention and watching the amount of time that they're watching, because unfortunately, when you simply upload it straight into your LMS, you unfortunately do not get some of those statistics. You'll get whether or not they clicked on it, maybe not, but it doesn't tell you the full shebang of how long did they watch? When did they stop watching? Things of that nature. So for me, using YouTube as an intermediary was a really nice way to use it. Now, I've been using virtual slides for about 1.5 years, 2 years now. TikTok was brand new this month, and I was horribly nervous about using it, but most everyone was fairly receptive. I'll show you some of the comments later. But like I said, there's no cost associated with any of this. It's just the amount of time. So I would think it's appropriate to kind of gauge your comfort level with technology and see where you might happen to fall. So if you're a little rank beginner and you're slightly intimidated, maybe you get comfortable downloading Bitmoji to your mobile device and you start using it. Maybe you start incorporating it into text messages or your PowerPoints like this. You start plugging them into your PowerPoints, or maybe you start plugging them into your announcements in the LMS. Baby steps, right? Maybe after that you start downloading TikTok and you start just browsing. It is addicting, so be careful because you can easily waste 2 to 3 hours on TikTok going down rabbit holes. But just seeing what the app is all about and getting familiar and comfortable with it. If you're intermediate, you might want to consider building a static virtual classroom that has no clickable links, right? So just remember there's no interactivity beyond the visual that you're getting. You can maybe start using TikTok videos to create video announcements, right? If you have something really important that you want to tell the kiddos, get your phone out, record it, and then upload it to your LMS. Or if you're fully comfortable with technology, create a fully interactive virtual classroom that has clickable links, that has your Bitmoji, it has embedded videos. The way that I use my virtual slides, they are clickable and they are interactive, but I'm always linking out to things outside of the course, right? So if there's things that's happening on the college campus, like an event, or if there's something I want to draw their attention to about maybe financial aid, like a deadline coming up or something, I'll put those on the slide. I don't take anything from inside the course and put on the slide because that's mixing too many different modalities and then they potentially might not play well. So as far as linking things outside of the course that are related to the college or even not is the way that I end up using it. Let me make sure the chat's not blowing up with questions. Same. Okay, good. Hopefully everyone can still see the presentation. I'm assuming so. Okay. So, just some ideas to get you started. Like I said, beginner. You can embed it into text messages for the Bitmoji. You can put it on PowerPoints like that. Or you can embed it as a JPEG or a PNG for your courses. Right? So however you want to do it, just something to break up the monotony, if you will. So if you're intermediate, like I said, there's going to be static visuals. There's going to be clickable links that's on there. Maybe you want to talk about a particular type of chapter from a book or any kind of concept that you're looking to introduce, right? These are ways in which that I've used them. Or maybe you want to do an advance where you have clickable links on there and then embedded videos. So the way that I would use my videos, I would use them as a introductory bit. We would have a topic for that particular week. I would post a video of myself talking about it with something mildly hilarious and humorous, and then students would watch it. It would introduce the concept, and then I would touch on the big points, and then they would go from there into the lecture to see what they are to learn. So different ways in which you can use them. So these are some of the comments that actually made it into the evaluations. Students really responded positively to them, which is good. I was horribly concerned that they wouldn't enjoy it, but overwhelmingly, students were enjoying the use of TikTok. They were enjoying the use of the virtual slides. They really enjoyed it. Now, they don't have to have a TikTok in order to view the videos. If you create a TikTok, you upload it your LMS straight from your phone, they'll still be able to view it. They don't need the program to actually download or to actually view the video. If they click it, it'll automatically take them there and it'll still pop up. So they don't necessarily need an account to view it. So if you're concerned about students needing to go download yet another app or this or that, they don't have to. They can if they want, and most students usually have a TikTok anyway. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to show you how to build some of these PowerPoints and virtual slides into your own classrooms. Let me pull this up. That is not what I want. Pardon me while I get the right thing. Presentations, Fuji, share screen, PowerPoint. All right. So the easiest way to build your virtual classroom, is to use the to use PowerPoint if you're most comfortable with it. The easiest way to do it is go to Insert right here, and then you go to Picture, Online Pictures. It'll pop up down here. Now, the cool thing about using PowerPoint is that it automatically defaults when you type in something. It'll automatically default to Creative Commons, so that way you're not intentionally infringing on any copyright violations and such. But in order to build your virtual classroom, you want some kind of background, right? You want a floor, you want a wall. Some people, when they're building their classroom, they want to do the entire thing. So if you simply come here and do floor and wall, it'll give you options like this. And options like this, they're totally fine. You can click them and insert them. We don't have time for the download. Let me try this. There we go. So you can do that. It'll automatically give you the it'll automatically give you the wall and the floor that you need, and then you can start building it that way. I don't particularly like those, however, because for me, sometimes you need more real estate. Sometimes you might need a bigger floor. Sometimes you might need a bigger wall, whatever the case might be. So I usually build them myself. And the way that I will do it, I'll put it together piecemeal and simply upload a floor. Time for a download. Let me try this one. There we go. So I usually will build it myself. And you can use, I'm not an artist, I'm fairly creative when it comes to musical stuff, but I'm not an artist. So what I'll normally do is use the slide to help create depth and perception. And then I'm a big fan of colors, so I don't know, I'll do some kind of light color blue. That looks pretty cool. I'll upload it, drag it up here. And then if you use the white that's already in the slide, you've created perception and depth. Right? It's like you've created a little bit of a baseboard. So automatically, right there is my room. That's the basis of the room. Right? So you can add whatever you'd like. Now, when you're building this, when it comes to including furniture, when it comes to actually putting things in there, you can search for whatever you'd like, but you must include the words transparent background. Excuse me. That's right here. Because in doing so, you help the ability to layer and build your actual slide. Because if you didn't select transparent background, you would get, of course, all of the stuff behind the visual. You would have, it would be opaque, right? So if you simply create something and ask for transparent background, it'll automatically give that to you. So sometimes when you're searching for things, you have to move them. So let's say you wanted to add a chair. You come here. Some of these chairs are quite ugly, but we'll add that one. That one seems cool. So sometimes they're pointed in the wrong direction, right? That's a cool chair, but maybe I don't want him pointing that way. I want to move him. So you simply come here and go to Arrange, Rotate, Horizontal, and then you flip it. So you can arrange the pieces however you'd like. You can include your Bitmoji. When it comes to including your Bitmoji, the easiest thing to do is simply download your Bitmoji and then upload him as a picture, and then you can place him wherever you would like. So that's pretty much the basis of how to build something on using PowerPoint slides. Now, you want to be mindful that sometimes when we're creating these slides, sometimes you'll have things that aren't quite where they want to be. So let's say, for instance, we wanted to add, I don't know, like a floor lamp or something. Let's say we wanted to add that. We'll add that. So if I drag it right there, clearly it's in front. So once again, thinking about layers and perception, right? Clearly, if we wanted to show any kind of artistic element, we'd want to send that to the back. So the picture formats that are right here, you can go, send to back, and it is placed behind the chair. All right, so think of things in terms of layers. Now, sometimes when you're uploading something, these are not a good example. Sometimes when you use an image, it'll have a very large pane, if you will. And it's not a big deal until you start putting more things on the slide and the area of the images start to overlap. So I like to crop them. And by cropping them, you make the footprint of it smaller so that you have less real estate, so that ideally, it's the space that it's taking up is only as large as the actual image. So that way you can have full control to place it and do whatever you'd like. So that's how you can build them on PowerPoint. All right, most people are familiar and comfortable enough with PowerPoint to use it that way. Now, let me do this. Now, the next one I'm going to show you is going to be Google Slides. You'll have to use Google Chrome to do this. So you'll have to use Google Chrome, and it's going to be the Slides button that's right there. There's ways that you can include your Bitmoji into your Google Slides. So the document that I'll share with you will walk you through exactly how to do that. The buttons are a little bit different in Google, unfortunately. So same type of thing, right? You're going to go to, excuse me while I add a slide. It's going to be the same type of thing. You're going to go to Insert, Image, search the web, and we'll still build it this way. Right? That looks pretty cool. We'll insert that. There it is. We'll insert a fun color. Pretty cool. We'll insert that. Nope, that's a bad example. That has weird stuff around it. Try that one. Now, when you're making them in Google Slides, like I said, the important thing to keep in mind is that when you're using Google Slides, the ultimate goal is the full functionality of it. So you can include things like clickable links and things of that nature. You can still use Google Slides for static images. So if you're not looking to make it interactive, but you're still comfortable and more familiar with Google Slides versus PowerPoint, you can certainly make it that way and export your Google Slide as a PNG or a JPEG. That's totally fine. But let's say we wanted to include something that linked out somewhere. So let me do, and it's the same thing. You'll still have to follow things up with transparent background for them to show up in the actual Google slide. So you see an example like this. See how large the pane is? We really don't want that because that will be super, super annoying. So we're going to crop it. Oops. Excuse me. We're going to crop it so that we don't have that problem. When we're building things, if you go to click something, if you want to insert something. So let's say I wanted to, I don't know. Let's say I wanted to include something from, I don't know, Bucks County. I would come here, I would upload it, place the image, and then to link it, you just simply click the little link button that's right there. And then you would paste it and then apply. And then the cool thing is that whatever you attach to that picture or image or visual, it will then link out to wherever you want it to go. When you want to include Bitmojis, if you've incorporated and put the Bitmoji extension in Chrome, you'll be able to access your Bitmoji that's right here. You click on that, there's all of your Bitmojis that's right there, and you simply copy and paste. If I were to come here and do this, copy image, you could also drag them if you'd like and put them there. So there we go. There's my Bitmoji right there. And once again, he's taking up a lot of space, not surprisingly, because my personality is quite large, so we want to make sure that we contain him a little bit, make him a little bit smaller. And then you can place them wherever you'd like, right? So that's how you make things in Google Slides when you're ready to publish them. If they have clickable links. If you don't have anything that's clickable within the PowerPoint presentation, you don't have to publish it. If it's just static, you can simply come here and go to, where is export? Go to download, and you have all these options right here, whether it's a PNG, JPEG, whatever you'd like to do. If you do have clickable links, if you do have embedded video, things of that nature, you'll want to go to publish to the web, and then you'll click the buttons that are appropriate, That's right here. And this one's already published to the website. Don't have to worry about it. But there's the embed code. You copy it, and then you dump that into your LMS. Now, the cool thing about using Google Slides to build your actual presentations is that if you teach numerous courses, if you teach multiple sections, the nice thing about using Google Slides and publishing it to the web and embedding it is that you have a master slide. So the cool thing about that is if I were to go in here and if I were to show you all of my virtual presentations and slides, if I wanted to make a change that showed up in all of my courses, right, all I have to do is go to the actual master slide within Google, and then I change it. And then once I change it, I go back into the LMS and hit refresh automatically. All of those changes carry over across the different sections. So as far as a time saver for me, that's what I greatly enjoy about about using Google Slides. Now, all of this happened pretty quickly. Okay? So what I do have for you, open that. And then let me do this. I do have a resource guide that I created for you. You should be able to see my screen. Hopefully you can. I created a resource guide for you that walks you through everything that I just showed you how to do. Right? So when we're talking about how to add Bitmoji to your Google Chrome, where you can find Bitmoji, how you can add it, how you can use it for Google Slides, that's right here, where you can find it, how you build it in Google Slides, screenshots galore, just to kind of walk you through how to do it. I do have templates available. So these are Google Slide templates. So if you happen to like what I'm doing in Google Slides and you like the look and feel, and you don't want to reinvent the wheel, these are templates that are fully editable, and you're more than welcome to modify them as you see fit for your particular needs and institution. This is for PowerPoint. If you're more comfortable with using PowerPoint, you can use it that way, and it walks you through what to click and how to do things there. Some of these other resources that I really, really enjoy are some of them that are right here, which include Flat Icon. They have a number of free icons that you can use, or maybe you want to use Graphic Burger. Maybe you want to use Pixabay, which is a really nice resource to find thousands of images. I use it personally for a lot of things that I do, and it really is truly a very nice benefit to have. BioRender is really nice for health science people, so if you're looking for health science oriented things, feel free to go there. Sometimes you want to be consistent with your coloring, and I've recently used this for our NOS Ohio newsletter to share with our conference sponsors. If you have a particular color scheme that you're looking to carry over from platform to platform, Coolers is a really nice way to use it and make sure that things carry from one thing to the next. If you're not artistically inclined, easiest thing to do is use the color wheel to help build things so things look visually appealing, of course, with complementary colors. And then my contact information that's right there. So quite a lot that we went over. It's not as difficult as it looks, I promise you. Let me check the chat, make sure. Yeah, let me see if I can upload this for you folks. That's download chat. That is resources. Tell you what, let's do this. Not that I wish to give you work to do, but so in the chat, I do have templates for PowerPoint. I absolutely do. So where is the ability to send an actual link? Pardon me while I click around and try to find it. Fit video, always show, turn off expanded preferences. That's not what I want. This is a bit different from the actual Zoom. Download chat, not what I want. So if you'd like a copy of that, feel free to send me a quick little message. I'll be sure to drop it in an email. I do not find the upload. I don't see an upload button here unless it's up here, edit, spelling and grammar, substitutions. I don't happen to see anything. But if you'd like a copy of the resource guide, feel free to email me. Hopefully this was helpful. Something easy that everyone can do that's not terribly difficult. If you'd like a copy of the PowerPoint templates as well, please include that. So I'm happy to share both the resource guide and the templates with you. Right? If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat or come off mute. Yes, I absolutely will. There we go. And if you need to get a hold of me for whatever reason, feel free. There's my phone number. Feel free to chat or text or call or whatever you'd like to do. Awesome. Yeah, resources. Yeah, I'm not able to find a way to dump it into the chat. I thought there would be a way to share the file with folks, but I don't currently see that. I see a raised hand. I see a link. I see a chat. I see apps, meeting highlights. So if you'd like a copy of the resource guide, let me know. Send me an email. I'll go ahead and put that in the chat once again in case they are getting cut off. I'm very sorry that my last name is not Smith. I apologize. But there we go. All right. If you have any questions, feel free to drop me a line, send me an email, shoot me a text, whatever you'd like. I'll get with the folks that put on the Face the Future and see if there's a way that they can post the resource guide for all of you. All right. Thanks so much for coming. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Of course.